Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Coffee Chat Cooks. With this, I will try my best to show you how to make certain recipes and follow cookbooks, and just in general, maybe later on, if this kicks off or if I am in the mood, I will try to do different variations of said recipes. I make no promises on the camera angles or the shakiness of the camera. I did get a new monopod, or like one of those stick tripod things, and it's a little wobbly at my house, so I do apologize for that. But I will also try to put the equipment needed and the ingredients. I will definitely do the ingredients. So, yeah, let's get going. First up is peanut butter cookies, one of the simplest recipes I have done so far. You may find this in Taste of Home, All-American Cookbook. With this recipe, however, you will notice I am using more than what is called for, simply because I did this one at work. So, the ingredients you will need is 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter, and 1 egg. When I said it was the simplest recipe I've done so far, I mean it. So, you will need a oven preheated at 350 and a bowl, maybe a whisk. And depending on how you like to stir or whisk stuff together, you may use an electric blender, but using your hand works perfectly fine, as you'll see coming up. Simply, all you have to do, first you'll need to crack open the egg and beat it. And once that is done, combine the sugar, the peanut butter, and the beaten egg together. You may use a whisk, your hand, or the electric blender. I use my hand because it was easiest, and since everything becomes all nice and mushy together, getting it out of the whisk may not be the best option, but it is entirely up to you. Once you have a good consistency as shown here, you can use a number 2 scoop, which is really small, or you can use your hands. I would not recommend making the ball of dough very big, as you will still need to use the fork and they will become bigger. Once you have your ball set on a ungreased pan or lined with a baking paper, you take a fork and press down on the ball to make the signature crosses. Sometimes the dough will stick to the fork, so just be careful, or use one hand, as you're holding the fork, to gently push it off. Once you are set with the amount of crosses and the amount of dough you want to have cooked, stick your cookies into the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes. If you're running on a bigger oven like I was, make it less time, or run it at a slightly cooler temperature, around 325. And after they are set, or a nice golden brown, about 10-15 minutes, pull them out and let them cool. Now, the book recommends putting them on a wire rack. I left them on the sheet itself as I needed to deliver them. But if you want to transfer them to a wire rack, be extremely careful, as they are still warm and fresh out of the oven and can fall apart. Now, I will confess, I was later told that the cookies were slightly burnt, which is why I am saying if you're using a bigger industrial sized oven, run it at a slightly cooler temperature or lower amount of time. But a home oven at 350 for about 15 minutes should be just fine. Take a snack of those cookies and enjoy your hard work. Hello, Bun from the future here. Actually, just a different voiceover day. I did go back at work and redid these cookies. And I have a better angle now of mixing everything, and that's all the footage I wanted to get from there. But I did want to say that I did follow my own advice. I actually lowered the cooking temperature to about 325 and had it cooked for about 15 or so minutes at work, because it's a convection oven, a bigger, much bigger oven, as I said before, and this time the cookies turned out much better. So just wanted to let you know that I did go back and retry these. I wasn't told they were burnt, and they weren't around the very next day. So just as a quick update. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this first episode of Coffee Chat Cooks. I hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely be working on this. If you can't tell, this one was this one was unscripted. So I may work on doing a script for future episodes. And this one is a little more shaky. If you notice, again, like I said, I was doing this one at work, so I was using one hand to record, one hand to do everything else, so yeah. So once again, thank you guys for listening, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.